Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out from Belarus to share with you. So we're going to be talking about the president of Belarus. His name is Alexander Lukashenko. This is him right here in the photo for you. So we've been talking a lot about Belarus lately, and we've been trying to determine what Belarus's next move is going to be. We know that they've been moving lots of military equipment to the border with Ukraine. There's been lots of talk from different people discussing the fact that Belarus might even invade Ukraine. We've shown you guys lots of pictures and video coming out of Belarus moving tanks and all kinds of equipment, lots of troops. Apparently there's even Wagner soldiers there that are on the border with Ukraine. So we could definitely see something major popping off here with Belarus. And something recently that I noted in our video earlier this morning with you guys is that Belarus is starting to mark their tanks with tactical unit labeling. Okay, they put like a letter B on their tanks and some of their vehicles. So this is very indicative that Belarus is probably preparing to go to war at some point soon, and we don't know what's going to happen. But Alexander Lukashenko coming out recently, and he's claiming that the West is trying to persuade him to fight against Russia. So he's coming out and saying, he doesn't say exactly who it is, but somebody within the Western world is coming out and telling him he should switch sides and fight on behalf of Ukraine, fight with Ukraine against Russia, that Russia's losing this war, that, if they fight with Ukraine, they could win. And, obviously if Belarus were to fight on behalf of Ukraine, could it benefit them in some ways? Maybe it could. And it could also maybe backfire too, who knows? It definitely seems like we're going to see something coming out from Belarus very soon. So that's why I want to talk about this. So I want to show you guys the clip. If you haven't seen this, I actually showed it in our morning update regarding Ukraine. We talked a little bit about this, but I want to dive in a little bit deeper and discuss it some more. So from Anton Gurashenko, Lukashenko complained that the West is trying to persuade him to fight with NATO against Russia. He also added that he receives proposals from all sides that 99% cannot accept. Did he mean Russia and NATO by all sides? So yeah, he basically mentions here that, all sides is basically getting him to either fight with Russia or fight against Russia, that he's kind of saying that the West is giving him proposals and saying, hey, fight with Ukraine, and maybe they'll offer him something, who knows? But just take a look at this video real quick. I think it's very interesting. We'll talk about it after, and then I'll show you guys an article that discusses this as well.
Страна живет в очень тяжелый период. Вопрос или-или. Нам сейчас советуют, подкидывают со стороны, слушай, на меня все это выливается. Давайте вот тут отступить, там освободить, начиная отсюда и заканчивая. Да плюнь ты на эту Россию, да отвернись ты от этой России. Давай будешь воевать с Украиной против России. Открой границы, мы войска НАТО под Смоленск заведем. Доходит и до этого. Мне сегодня вносят предложения со всех сторон, которые мы принять не можем на 99%. Поэтому я хочу, чтобы вы поняли, в какой мы обстановке, в какой ситуации живем. Страна живет.
Okay, so I don't know if you read everything that he was talking about there, but if you notice, there was a point where he says he's getting proposals from all sides that he cannot accept. They can't agree with it. 99% of it, they cannot agree to it. So my best guess is that Russia's telling them it's time for you to get involved in this war, open up another front against Ukraine, so that way we can pull pressure off of Russia, because Russia's clearly not doing too well pushing the Ukrainians back in the Kursk region. There's now a front starting to open up in the Belgorod region that I discussed with you guys this morning. And we also heard some reports a few days ago that the Ukrainians were attempting to push into the Bryansk region as well. Now, these three regions in southwestern Russia are the only regions of Russia that's not being contested in terms of the war in Ukraine. Okay, so there's not really much fighting going on there prior to this incursion opening up in the Kursk region of Russia. So obviously, Alexander Lukashenko appears to be pressured from both sides. Russia telling them to open up the front, and then the West telling them to hell with Russia. Don't even bother. Don't pay attention to anything that Russia has to say. Just join with Ukraine, fight against Russia. Let's finish them off, whatever it might be, right? So definitely very, very interesting situation that we're seeing developing here in Belarus. And I want to talk some more about this. So I went ahead and found an article that talks about this a little bit more. So let's go ahead and pull this up on Ukrainska Pravda. Belarusian leader claims he is being advised to turn away from Russia and fight together with Ukraine. Okay, this came out yesterday, August 27, 2024. And it says here, Alexander Lukashenko, the self-proclaimed president of Belarus, has said that someone is allegedly advising him to turn away from Russia and side with Ukraine in the fight against Russia. We are now being advised, getting proposals from all sides. This is all downpour on me. Back off here, liberate there. This is more, this and more. Give up on Russia. Turn your back on Russia. Fight with Ukraine against Russia. Let's bring NATO troops to the border near Smolensk, Russian town not far from the Belarusian border. That's how far this advice goes. Today, I'm receiving proposals from all sides that we cannot accept 99% of the time. So yeah, it definitely seems like, based on what he's saying here, he's getting bombarded with all these proposals and demands at the same time. Russia's demanding probably invade Ukraine. We need help. Open up another front. And then at the same time, the West is telling him, don't even listen to Vladimir Putin. Just join with Ukraine. So he's probably going crazy over here trying to figure out which way he should take his country, because he probably sees Russia on the other side over here not doing too well. They got this incursion breaking out of their country. Their oil depots are being crushed. Massive hits all over their airfields. And then at the same time, he's looking at Ukraine. Ukraine's getting devastated from all these airstrikes. But at the same time, some things are looking positive for them as well, as they have this incursion. They're developing all these long-range weapons. So he's probably trying to decide right now which way he needs to take his country. So as usual, Lukashenko did not specify who exactly was offering him such proposals, nor did he give any other details, but only said in his usual manner that Belarusians live in extremely difficult times. He advised the educators to do their job while he would do his job together with his colleagues in the government senior officials. We are living in extremely difficult times. I'm not talking about the fact that we have a war in the South. I'm talking about what these madmen in the West are preparing against us. We have to keep this in mind. What we need is this situation. In this situation is to turn this country, this huge machine, small Belarus, it's not so small when you have to run it, from the West to the East. We need to ensure that we are accepted in the East. Thank God we are succeeding, but it is hard work, Lukashenko concluded. So it seems like he definitely wants to really stick with the East, especially with Russia. Russia's obviously a major ally. They even have nuclear weapons supposedly stored inside of Belarus coming from Russia. So clearly, Alexander Lukashenko has a big decision to make, and it looks like he's being pressured from both sides. So I thought this was a very interesting story. I just wanted to dive in a little bit deeper and talk about this today, because we did kind of bring it up in our update video this morning, but just briefly we discussed this. So I don't know, something is going to happen with Belarus very soon. Either Belarus is going to invade Ukraine, or they're going to turn their back on Russia. Potentially, I highly doubt that. But maybe they could turn their back on Russia and attack Russia instead. Who knows what's going to happen here? But we do know that Belarus is moving lots and lots of military equipment to the border with Ukraine. And typically, any country that does that, that means they're preparing to go to war, okay? No country's going to move all that equipment for no reason when it's very, very expensive to do that. So for them to go and get all these assets in place and, put all these tanks and everything and troops on the border, they're preparing to do something. Now, could they withdraw and pull everything back? Yeah, that's possible too. But it definitely seems like we're about to see something big, some sort of major decision coming from Belarus very soon, and we're going to have to wait to see what that is. But I hope you guys did get something out of this update. If you did, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.